Hey guys, it's Jim, and I just wanted to talk with you today about what Fiverr Arbitrage is. So, kind of give you a guide to what Fiverr Arbitrage is. And so, um, it's very simple, really. So, what you do is Fiverr is this great place, this marketplace, right, where you can find people who provide all sorts of services, right? Whether it's giving you, helping you build backlinks, they can do SEO, they can give you keyword research, or write articles, or design book covers, or create logos. The possibilities are really kind of endless in terms of what services you can get on Fiverr. And the arbitrage piece here, and I just want to kind of give you a guide as to how this works, is that you basically identify something here on Fiverr, and really, this is my advice to you: is you pick one thing, right, and then like let's say it's going to be logo design, or creating book covers, or here's one I like, is press releases, and you basically say, okay, I am going to go out and I'm going to offer a service of writing and delivering a press release, basically getting it, out to the different media. And what you can do is you just come to Fiverr, sign in, get your account all set up if you don't already have one. And then you basically just come in and search on something, right? Now you've got, let's just do press release here. Okay, so you've got all these options here, right? And you can do some filtering, but what I would suggest you do is you just kind of read through some of these services, right? So let's go read this person's. And you just kind of find out like what they do, right? So as you know as well, things are not just $5 on Fiverr anymore. So some things take a little bit more of an investment, and that's where you'll have to check out one of my other videos for somebody who does gigs that are much less expensive than Fiverr these days. So anyway, press release package, but the price isn't totally, like, you can do some price shopping, right? When you go back to that search page, you can basically kind of filter up here by your budget and stuff like that, and just find people that are going to offer this at a better price for you. But the main thing I wanted you to do is just read through a few of these so that you can figure out exactly what it is you're offering, right? Because what's going to happen here, the arbitrage is, and my advice to you is, you just learn one of these services, like what they're going to offer, so that you can basically go and sell this to someone else. And that's what arbitrage is. It's where theoretically you're supposed to make money in between by connecting somebody who needs something together with somebody who can provide that service. Now, the basics of business are usually, as a business, you solve a problem for somebody else. Arbitrage usually just involves one more step right in the middle, where somebody needs something, so they need a press release. You find that person who needs a press release, and then you go to Fiverr, in this case, and hire somebody to actually do the work for you. And so, we saw in this gig their minimum price is $70. Well, basically, to make this a successful arbitrage for you, a profitable arbitrage, you already know the answer to this, right? You just have to charge whoever you're selling this to more than $70, right? So, basically what you do is you say, okay, now I'm going to offer a press release service. I'm going to join, my local networking groups and stuff like that, and I basically just say, hey, I do press releases that cost $100, and we deliver it to whatever this is, right? Google News, Digital Journal, all the top, Fox, CBS, all these places, You can include a link to your website. You can include images. It could be a video. All of these things. So you kind of learn exactly what it is that this person will deliver, right? Your service provider on Fiverr. You learn what they can deliver so that you can go and sell that service to somebody else. And you know what? They don't have time, or maybe they don't know about Fiverr, or they don't trust it, or whatever. Doing this arbitrage thing, you don't have to, necessarily tell your client that you're just going to outsource this on Fiverr. But it's okay, to tell them that you have people working for you that, take care of some of this stuff. So that's kind of what the arbitrage is. You find a service, costs $70. Maybe you're doing press releases. It could be lots of things, right? But there's a few that work really well with Fiverr, right? So programming isn't going to work super well. So you're not going to do service arbitrage on Fiverr, and sell programming services, right? That just doesn't really make sense. Editorial services, again, that's not going to make sense. You want one-off type services that you can go and sell. That's what works best with arbitrage on Fiverr. So these one-off services are things like press release. Somebody pays you once, they're getting one press release, you're going to deliver it, and it's going to cost you one thing on Fiverr. They may come back to you again and again, month after month. You can even tell them, hey, come and see me next month, and we'll do another one, because what I found is it works best to do a series of 5 press releases to really get maximum traction, in traffic and conversions and stuff. So, these are things that business people expect, and then all you're going to do is just say, this is what I offer, and usually it takes me about 5 days to turn this around. Which again, I'm just looking here at what the person says on Fiverr is their turnaround time. You obviously want to build yourself even more time than that. You might want to be like, we've got kind of a queue of people in front of you, so we're not going to be able to get a press release out until, it's going to be 7 or 8 days from now. It's going to be the middle of next week, right? Give yourself a little padding there, because once they sign up, you don't want them to be like, well, you said you're going to do this, and I needed it tomorrow. And then it turns out, you can't get it for 5 days on Fiverr. So, just kind of build yourself a business, use common sense, and, those are kind of the main things. Now, the other thing that's hugely important here is that you collect some or all of the money up front that you need to pay for the Fiverr gig. So, if you go and offer this service to a local business, okay, let's say you've got Joe's Vacuum Shop, and they come to you and say, hey, I want to do a press release because we've got a new vacuum coming out. Great. That's going to be 7 or 8 days before we can get that done for you. Do you want us to write it, or do you want to write it yourself and then we'll submit it? They'll probably say if you can write it, that would be great, which, again, most of these, just kind of read through what services you get, but a lot of these gigs will, do some of the work for you, so make sure you know. And then you say, okay, that's great, it's going to be this timeline, here's what's going to happen, here's where it's going to go, and, the service overall is going to cost $125 for us to do this press release. I collect $70 up front, and you can make that payable to Jim Shirley or my business, Results Press, or whatever you decide to do there. And then you get your money, you go, deposit it in the bank, your check, you come over here to Fiverr, boom, make your order, fill out the form, tell the person what you need, and then you get the service delivered. Then you go back to the customer, print something out, or put it in a PDF on your phone that shows exactly that the service has been delivered and where it is or whatever. Collect your second check, the remainder. If you didn't collect everything up front, it's actually pretty easy to just get the money up front, especially if you're a trustworthy person, and you're kind of building yourself a business here and stuff. That getting the money up front, especially when it's only $100, $150, something like that, that's not going to be that big of a deal. So You might even be able to get everything up front and then not have to go back to collect more money, because obviously you don't want to have to go back and forth and collecting money, because sometimes it takes a while to get it, especially that second check. So anyway, sorry I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but I'm just trying to think through all the things that have happened to me as I've offered these kinds of arbitrage situations. And so anyway, I hope you're finding this helpful. That is basically my guide to Fiverr Arbitrage. Find a service, learn all about it, figure out what it is, kind of write some notes down, and then basically you're just going to go out and sell that service. You know, you can make posts on Craigslist, you can go to Facebook buy, sell, swap groups and stuff like that, and just say, hey, is anybody looking for a press release? This is, you know, a new service I'm offering, and you know, hit me up in the comments if you want to know more about it. You know, get your people that way, get them on the phone, explain what it is, and all you have to do is just kind of read through what they offer here on Fiverr, you know, and then boom, collect your money, submit the gig, and you know, and then just be honest, right? You know, just follow through, do what you're supposed to do for the job. Sometimes Fiverr gigs bail on you, so if that happens, you know, Fiverr is really good about getting your money back and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is just communicate with your person, and that's another thing, you know, I guess I should mention here is I've found over time that no matter what it says they can do here in the packages in terms of time frames and turnarounds and all that, you can't believe it. You know, they tell you sometimes like 5 days delivery, and they'll tell you like, yeah, here it is, 1 order in the queue. So this person's probably not that busy, and maybe you think, oh, I don't need to reach out to him. I'll get this thing in 5 days or less. It'll be no big deal. Don't trust it. Before you order the gig, before you give him any money, hit the contact me button, send him a message, and just be like, listen, I've got a good job, it's hot, it's good, and I'm ready to pay, but I'm definitely going to need this in 5 days or less. Is that going to work? And if not, just tell me. I'll come back to you next time, you know, and check again, but, you know, I just need to make sure this is going to work this time. And they'll get back to you, and then, you know, let you know honestly. And sometimes people don't get back to you, and then I'm like, you know, not too interested in a service where they're not going to, you know, respond. They really want you to contact them and check that stuff anyway. So, you know, don't be afraid to reach out first before you send the money and book it. Because, you know, like we saw over here, she ain't the only option, right? We got a ton of options here. And so, you know, find somebody who's going to work with you and get it done in your timeline. So at that, I'll wrap it up just so that it doesn't go on too long, but I really appreciate your joining me. Hey, listen, will you give me a thumbs up on this video? I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like, subscribe to the channel because I've got more good stuff coming your way. And thanks a lot. All right, signing out.